Hello, everyone. Shay's Creations again, and I'm feeling so much better. So give me 1 minute to get a sip of this ice cold water. Mm-mm. I've been out to bed for like 20 minutes. I haven't drank anything. Mm. Today, I was in here feeling so bad because of these freaking hot flashes, and I was doing everything in my power not to break down. And I know somebody got to be tired of hearing me say about these freaking hot flashes, but they're going to be. I'm telling you, wait. So then I realized that there's an event coming up, and I don't know too much about it. So I put some cards in a box, some bracelets, something, this, that, and the other. And I said, you know what? Let me go stop by the lady house who told me about it. And then when I got to the building, I said, okay, this has to be her apartment because the door is decorated so nice with a little wreath and everything on it. So I knocked on the door, and she opened the door, and I said, I'm so sorry to come to your house. She said, girl, come in here. When I went in, I was so happy. The place is absolutely fantastic. Wayfair all over the place. Of course, I knew. Anyway, I'm really, really, really happy I stopped by. And I had to apologize, but she's a church person. So she said, no, this is my ministry. People can drop by anytime. Anyway, I I was sitting in her living room. The air conditioner was on, and I was just pouring sweat. And I was sitting here trying to control myself because inside everything was wet. So she said she doesn't. She gave me this. Now it looks backwards to me on this camera, so hopefully you can see it. But it says, I'll put it. I'll put it in the thing, but it has cayenne pepper, hawthorn, beetroot, turmeric, vitamin D3, whatever. So she said, she got up, she said, I'm going to give you something. And I couldn't feel the air conditioner, by the way. I saw it on, I heard it on, couldn't feel it. So she popped it open, and she said, just take 2 squeezes under your tongue. And I did, and I was thankful that it tasted okay. But why, in about a good 3 minutes, I jumped up out of the chair, and I started walking around the living room, and I'm like, and she said, what's the matter? I said, I feel your air conditioner. And I said, don't tell me I'm going crazy, but does it work that fast? And she said, yes, it does. But she said she's been taking it for a while, and her hot flashes have basically been gone. But she said her neuropathy is why she started taking it. Now, this woman, I never knew how old she was. I just know her children are of an adult age. So I'm like, I said, you never age. Come to find out, ashwagandha, sea moss, burdock root, everything that I'm taking is what she's taking. And then she said she got off all medications. She just wasn't, willing to take it or whatever. But anyway, I'm excited because I'm going to check Temu to see if they have this. And I told her something that I've never told anyone else, because sometimes you need to keep your mouth shut about some stuff. And the reason why I say that is because I have seen a lot of people lose access to stuff that they had access to because they told and told and told, and it got so out that it was no longer available. And I've seen it, just this week. And some of these things are pertinent to our lives. Now, I don't consider that being selfish. And the reason why I don't consider that being selfish is because not everything people can tell someone else. So I told her about some of the medications, vitamins, whatever, that I have purchased from Temu. And I said, I don't tell anyone which ones I get because I rely on them, and I don't know what's going to happen or whatever. And I buy them in a quantity, 10, 20, whatever the case may be. Anyway, as we were talking, and she saw the bracelets, the earrings, all these others, she said, you're going to do so well. But she said to me that the event has been so packed that they had to line people up to shop. And when she said that, I got nervous. And she knows how I am with crowds and all that other stuff, and Coral be easy. Ah! So, because I went over there because I'm thinking of something that you and I agreed on. Girl, I'm not losing my friend. So I said, I told her my issues and stuff, and she said she understands, and she told me exactly what I can do if those issues arise. Anyway, she's like, you know so and so, you know so and so, you know so that's who's doing it, and they say, girl, I'm gonna find out for you tomorrow. I'm like, wow, but I'm so thankful because I laid down in my bed and I took a small nap, and I woke up and I realized that I haven't had a hot flash in a few hours. A few hours, boys and girls. Yes, indeedy. So now it's after 7, and I still haven't had a hot flash. Not only that, I have had no pain in my feet, no pain in my fingers, nothing. Oh, I was so glad. But she told me that there are people there who do bracelets, but she said she's never seen adult bracelets like mine. She said she never seen those. She said she see the little plastic ones and all the other. Thank you, because I'm not going there with any plastic bracelets. No, and I'm not saying anything against plastic bracelets, but there is some type of something in the bracelets that are banned in other countries. Now, I'm gonna have to figure out how to say this in a nice way so nobody gets offended. But there are certain places, let's say England or California or whatever, that don't allow certain materials or whatever. They ban them for whatever reason. Although they don't do it here, I adhere to those methods because whatever reason, I feel it's a benefit to the people in their community. So I'm going to use that for the people in my community. So I'm like, okay, so she's gonna go tomorrow to church to find out how much if they're gonna give me 2 tables, if I gotta bring my own tables, that type of stuff. So I said to her, I was telling her about the event that I'm going to this month, and I said, I have literally gone there and paid $25 and left with $1, but they always say you still go. They always say you go for the adventure, you go for the traffic, getting your name out there, all that other stuff. That's fine and dandy. I'm thankful for one thing and one thing only. I let my goods on the table pay for the table. But the event I'm going to in October is $75, and you have to pay for that table before you get there. I'm extra happy because it's around maybe 2 or 3 blocks from my house. So just say I didn't feel like driving and I was only going to take a shopping cart, I could actually push my shopping cart around the corner, and I could do it with you watching me push my shopping cart. But I am like so excited. So now, this morning, I was laying in my bed and I kept saying to myself, I need something for children. Now, most of the toys and all that other stuff I gave out. And she said to me, she said, Shay, stop giving away your stuff. She said, you have to stop. She said, even though, whatever. She said, you just have to stop. And so I went to a wholesaler this morning and I was searching a baby onesie, basically a onesie outfit with a hood on it. I searched the item and it's all over the web, and it's between $10 and $23 that people have been charging for it. I got it with a firm this morning. I got the full thing with a firm. I made a 12-month agreement, but it's not even going to take me 6 months to knock it off because most likely that event is going to pay for that order. And then on top of that, I said rather than make it 15 like most sellers are selling it for 15 and 23, I'm going to leave mine at 10. That will allow me, if I can sell it all or mostly all of it, it would allow me to get 1 month's rent paid out of that one product on the table. Now, in this room here, I already started picking up some of my eBay orders. Those were all my eBay items there. So I started picking up some of my bracelets, taking them out to envelopes and putting them on the holder because being that it's not on eBay anymore, I'm not worried about them being sorted out. Now, I have I have Christmas cards. Couldn't sell any Christmas cards at the event. I have some regular I love you cards with flowers. Now these ones I don't want to ship because they're 3D cards. I don't want to ship those. So now I'm taking my freaking cards with me. And some of the cards I have with I put a bookmark in there, you know. So and I found this card this morning. I'm so happy. But see, I can't ship these cards. These cards have layers on them. But I need something that I have to get before that event. Someone came into my home and was under the spell of alcohol and broke my long greeting card holder. And Amazon has it for a pretty decent amount, but I found it today on Temu for $59. So I'm going to wait until next month to get it from Temu. The only reason why I don't want to wait till next month is because of the shipping, and I don't know the date of the event, but I am freaking excited now to go. So I said I would love to get 2 tabletop greeting card holders so I can put one at the edge of this table and one at the edge of that table, and then I don't have to worry about putting that long pole inside of my vehicle that will hinder when I'm driving. So I said maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just get the long pole and put it at a section to where people can walk to it and be around it. Beverly, you said something to me in comment that you heard this before about me not making greeting cards anymore. I'm not making greeting cards at this moment. I haven't made greeting cards in a few months. I have a ton of greeting cards. If I was to show you the amount of cards I have, you probably wouldn't believe it. And what I actually have to do is get the cards out of here. I have to just get them out of here. I cannot store that amount of cards. I have cards everywhere, everywhere. And when I say everywhere, these are cards. These are cards. These are cards. I don't know if you see that shelf over there, but most of those are blank cards for me to decorate. Those are going absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. And the reason why those are not going anywhere is because if I get a call for a card, I have my blanks to make them. It has the envelope and everything in it. But I have an overabundance of cards that are already made that I have to get out here. Now, what I actually did is I made some little business cards type flyers. I'm gonna cut them out, and I have a lot of addresses. This long sleeve is just getting on me. I have a lot of addresses. Now, this idea came through with me being on ChatGPT, and I was asking a question, and so what I'm gonna actually do. I realized that I have some stamps that I haven't used yet. I'm gonna take some addresses from my past customers that purchased from me that I kept their addresses because I send them freebie cards. I'm going to put together some cards, 3D cards, really nice cards, whatever the case may be. I'm not really going to do sorting out like holidays, events, none of that. I'm just going to make sure that they're decent cards. I'm going to start putting cards together, and I'm going to put this donation flyer in it saying that if whatever they feel they can donate to me, I will take that in Zelle. In Zelle, I think I put Zelle here. Yeah, I did. I put Zelle here. And I'm just going to start putting together those and just mailing them. The only thing I feel bad about is I'm not going to put a return address on it. I'm not going to put a return address on it. They are going to know exactly who it came from, and they're going to be able to check eBay and see that I no longer have eBay anymore, and I do have this excess amount of stock that I need to get rid of. But I'm not going to ride around and drop them here, drop them here. If I have a chance to send them to someone that will bless me with any type of contribution that I could just throw onto my upcoming rent, I would rather do that And then on top of that, I'm thinking there's a company where I can do mystery boxes. I did get registered for one. I got approved for one, but I was registered with them for over a year and got no hits of any kind. Now it's so funny that I mentioned I didn't have a hot flash, and I'm in this room with no air conditioner with this thick dress on, and now I'm feeling a little warm. So I am going to turn the air conditioner. But I feel that I can do that to downsize some of the cards. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of cards that I printed that need to be folded, chopped, and everything. And I would really like to get those out because then I would have access to my closet. But when I got a brand new printer, and I had 6 months of free printing and free 6 months of free printing. And then at that time, I ended up with a lot of hustle and grind, where I had a lot of paper, and the paper that I had was really good printing paper, cardstock. So I printed up all of those prints that they allowed me to print, which was 700 prints for the month. So for 6 months, I printed 700 copies. So I have all of those cards in this house, along with all of the cards I was making while I was doing all of my videos. And then when I went through a manic cycle, I was making cards from sun up to sundown. I just couldn't stop making cards. I just went through a bunch of manic issues. So I have all of those, and I went through some cards today. I even went through this box is what I actually took to the lady to show her some of my cards. And see, these cards are 3D cards, so I don't like to ship these cards. These are the cards I take to my my events, and I didn't want to just get rid of all my cards. I have some really nice cards, and I love my cards. And see, these cards with the flower, you can open the flower up, and sometimes I make cards because I have a different type of eye. When I do cards. So I'm just over excited. That's probably why I started getting a little warm. My friend told me that I'm getting a little excited, and that's another reason why I'm getting hot. Now this is one of the cards I wish I knew how to make again. I don't know how. I don't know the measurements. I just made the card on a whim. What is this? Happy Mother's Day. So I made it on a whim. I don't know how to do measurements and all that other stuff, so that's how I did some of these cards. So I'm gonna take my cards, I'm gonna put them on a table and all of that good stuff, and I'm gonna hope for the best. But I'm happy about the clothing that I'm gonna get, because I actually needed something on that table that was a need. So I'm gonna have baby clothes, and I'm gonna do that. But ooh, boys and girls, I'm looking through these cards because I haven't seen them in a while, and I'm loving them. Ooh, I'm loving them, and they're so heavy. Ooh, some of these, and some of these. Aw, I got a little cup inside of there, and I love my butterfly. You know, I was thinking today. I was thinking about my big shot that I use to make my my butterflies and stuff. No matter what I do, stop doing my cards, whatever, I'm keeping that big shot. I have too many supplies to allow me to make a card if I have to make a card. I don't want to make any Christmas cards, and I have so much Christmas paper. I don't want to make any Christmas cards. But April, I need you to send me your address, please. And you don't have to send me anything, but I know freaking well if anybody would like a package from me or anything, it would be you. So I need to downsize some cards. I don't know if they're going to be 3D cards. It may be different cards, whatever. But I'm not throwing away any more cards. I refuse. And I was so happy when I made this card. Oh, look at, I haven't seen these. I have cards in here I haven't seen in years. This card is 3D, so it has little flowers and things. I cannot mail these cards. Nobody could get this card for. No, I can't mail these type of cards. And what I was thinking was, like priority boxes. Priority boxes are like $23 to ship. I was gonna contact two people today and ask them to send me $25, and I would just go to the post office if I don't have two prior. No, I got two priority boxes right here. I got about four, and they're already built up. So I was gonna ask two of them for $25 so I can get two priority boxes and fill them up, and then I would possibly get to make some bracelets and throw those in and everything to allow me to still do what I do to help me with my mood. So that's what that was. But I said, I may not even do that. I may not even do that, but I am really, really happy about the fact that I found out about this event, because this is a yearly event, which means I would have a place to go to every year. The lady told me that it is actually packed with tables and tables and tables of people. And what I don't understand is how I've been living here for 8 years, 11 years, and it's right around the block from me, and I never knew. But I said to her, I said, there are times that I see a whole bunch of people outside the church. She said, that's what they be doing. And I said, it be cold out there. And I'd be like, what are they doing? Giving out cheese? But it was so funny. But it was so nice, going to someone's house, just, sitting there and conversating and stuff like that. I really loved this woman. We were neighbors for years, years, years. And, I was almost about to fill out an application to move back over there into those apartments. And I told her that I was one of the reasons why I was thinking of moving back was because it was free electricity in the building, and I always have to put on my air conditioner, and it would help me. I said, but I kind of changed my mind because they don't have parking inside of a garage. And she said, well, we got fitted for Con Edison. They were here, and we have the meters and everything. I said, huh? She said, oh, yeah, we're about to pay electricity. And that's the last building in this county that has free electricity. And that I lived in that building since I was 11. And I left when I was about 26, left the building. And that's how many years the electricity was free. And I'm 56 this month, and electricity is still free. But the building is taken over now. Some other people bought the building, and now they're making the tenants pay electricity. So it's a whole big ball game. So what I'm going to be doing is making my bracelets. Today, I didn't check my online site at all. I only checked the traffic, and I'm getting traffic on my bracelet site, but I didn't get a sale yet. And she asked me today, she said, did you get a sale? I said no. And then someone had to help me, had to walk me home today because I wasn't feeling well outside. He was like, do you mind if I walk you home? I'm like, no, I don't. And this is someone I knew in the building for the 11 years I've lived here. So when he came in, he saw the bracelets, and he said, now this is what you need to be doing. And then he saw my table in the living room. He said, now this is what you need to be doing. These are beautiful. And I said, he said, you are so whatever you call that crafty type of thing. I said, I'm getting sick and tired of it. He said, that's your mood support. That's what you have to do. You have to answer the call to yourself. So that's what I'm going to do. Last night, Coral called me, and I had the best time talking to Coral on the phone. I am just so happy to have Coral in my life. And yesterday she said, no, that didn't happen because of me. That happened because of you. I said, no, that happened because of you. She know goodness well I wouldn't have been at that counter cutting up no onions. Now, today I was going to go to the store to look for some onion in the powder, not the powder, but the little flakes, but I didn't feel well enough to actually go into a supermarket. I didn't feel comfortable doing that, so I didn't go. But it's one of the things I have on my agenda. What I'm going to do today is sort out some more of this shelf here. I got rid of so much stuff from here that now I need to start putting together what I'm going to take for the event. I would really like a minimum of 2 tables. Now, I have 2 tables, So I just need to know, do I need to bring my 2 tables? Do I want to bring my 2 tables? Absolutely not. In October, it's going to be too cold to be coming from across the street with a table back across the street and with my goods and everything else. I don't have help and all that other stuff, so I'm hoping they don't try to charge me 75 for the table, then try to charge me for the 2 tables, not 75 for the space, and then the 2 tables. That's why the one in December, that was the massive blessing one that I was going to attend. I decided not to attend because the space alone was $80, and then on top of that, you had to pay for the tables, the chairs, and everything else. And then you can only get a space with electricity if you something with the, everybody has a cell phone, so who doesn't need a socket? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no. And the table, no, I should be able to, no. And that parking lot would have been much further from the door in December. No, I'm not stepping foot out of this apartment in December. No, I think after the flea market in October, November, and December, I will not be stepping out of this apartment. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna finagle my bipolar medicine because I am not going to. I'm not leaving here. I haven't stepped foot in snow in a number of years. I do not drive in that weather. My car slid one time, and I was on a hill, and I got down the hill, and I was like, and my daughter was in the back seat, and she was a baby. I don't play with ice, snow, that type. No, I don't do that. You don't have too much control. And then the last time I was outside in the snow, I had to shovel my car, and my back was so hurt. And this man stopped, and he said, He got out of his car, and he took my shovel, and he started shoveling my car for me. And he was dressed up in suit and tie. He was on his way somewhere of importance. He had an appointment, a meeting, and everything. So I was so thankful, but I said, no, I can't do that to myself. But I am actually feeling so good. I do have to mention, I've had a slight migraine for a while, and it does say that you may feel some type of whatever when you first take it or whatever, but since I always get head pain, this is not something I can actually say is coming from that, but I'm feeling a little bit of migraine, and I meant to take a migraine pill from the time I came into the house. It's not one of them migraines that will make you cry. It's just one of those migraines that will make you wish it was gone. Now I got to take my collagen because that's why my nail grows so long. These nails, every time I fall, I break my nails as soon as they hit something. But I have never in my life been able to grow a fingernail until I started taking this collagen. I went outside into my hallway yesterday after I put out a few boxes. About 40 minutes later, I went to take the garbage out, and a few of the items inside the boxes were already missing. And then this morning, I went outside to go to the lady's house, and one box was still there. So I took the box and I put it in my car to give to the lady. Then I got it in my car and remembered it was there. And now I'm thankful that I have it because I can take it to the event. I never even opened it from the time it came from the wholesaler. I just got overwhelmed with so much stuff in here that I wasn't able to get out and do, you know. My craft table here, I actually want to tell you the truth. I just want to open up some garbage bags and just throw the whole thing in there. I haven't sat at this table in months. I don't sit at this table at all in months. And every time someone comes in here, they're like, oh, I love this room. And I'm like, are you serious? You're not having a stroke in there? But it is what it is. I was at my neighbor's house, and I kept getting these shocking pains in my chest, and then my eyes started rolling behind my head. He was like, you need to go to the hospital. You're having a stroke. I already had a stroke before, and my lip was down like that. Y'all was able to see on my YouTube video, and I had a mini stroke in my apartment, but he told me take some aspirin. So he said, I'm walking you home. So I had purchased some aspirin, and I never remembered why I purchased it, but I kept it. I said, I just purchased some aspirin and didn't know why, and I took it. After I took the aspirin, the feeling of uneasiness or whatever I really can't explain went away. So I put it on my nightstand so I could take my aspirin every morning. I'm going to take it every morning. But I did notice that if you watch a few of my videos, you will see that my lip turns and my mouth turns, and that's because I had a stroke. But I noticed that there are times like now that my mouth is straight. Then there's times that my mouth is tilted, but that's because when I had the stroke, I can't do anything about it. But I'm still thankful that I'm able to be, the way I am right now. So, that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me right now. I am having one small problem though. I have some thank you cards in this room, and I have an abundance of thank you cards. And I need those thank you cards because those are the cards that I do want to take to the event with me. And I found some of them this morning, and then this morning I was printing out my tags to put with my goods, and I knew I printed some already, chopped them, cut them, did the edges and everything. And I'm like, where did I put them? And even though it may look like I just take things and throw it in here, I know where pretty much everything is. And I said, where is it that I put it? And then today, when I was thinking about some coffee, I came in here to stand there to make some coffee, and something made me look down. And there goes the cards and these that are cut up, chopped up, and everything. So I put them over there. So now what I'm going to do is turn on this TV, watch a little TV in here. I haven't watched TV in here in months, boys and girls. So I'm going to watch me some TV in here while I print some more of my cards to put with my earrings, bracelets, and things like that. And then I'm going to think about what I'm going to do to the thank you cards. All I want to do is just cut some butterflies like I just showed you a few minutes ago. Put the butterfly on top of the thank you card. Now the thank you card is already made. I didn't make the thank you card, but the thank you card is made with beautiful paper. So all I want to do is top the thank you card with a butterfly, a pink one, a white one, a colorful one, whatever one, some gems, maybe whatever. And that's my contribution to a pre-made thank you card. I have, I think, 8 or 10 in a package, and that's what I want to put on the table for that right there. I only wish I had the greeting card holder, because the greeting card holder is the life of the party of that event. Because if I can get my cards out in the community that I live in, that is the hustle and grind that I have always wanted from day one that Shades Creations came into existence. It's my greeting cards, boys and girls. So that's what it is. I am so upset that this person came into my home and broke my greeting card holder and promised to pay for it and didn't pay for it. I searched so long. It was so hard for me to find one of those things. And then I found one in this town, and someone just happened to put it up on the marketplace, and he put it up there for $40. And I said to him, I said, is that $40 cash? He said, yes. I said, can I come get it right now? And he said, yes. And then when he told me where he was, it was a hop, skip, and a jump right around the block. And I went over there, and it was right in the window, and he was saying something. I said, I gave him the $40, and I laughed out with that thing, put that thing in my car. What he was saying is that he needed to clean it off because it was in storage. No, baby, I need to clean it off. That was $40. That thing is $100 and something everywhere I look. And it was every flea market I went to, I took that with me. The wind would blow, everything. It would never fall down. Now it is leaning to the side where it even looks like trash standing up inside my home. And I cannot tell you how how painful it is for me for someone to come into my home and damage something of mine and just leave me with it, saying that they're going to pay for it. I don't want you to pay for it. Just replace it. You don't have to give me any money for it. Just replace it because you broke it. Oh my God, it makes me so angry to think that I did not want the person in here because they were drinking. And then when I said, no, 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 and it fall down on my, and something of value like that I can't replace, it bothers me because it's not the first thing someone broke in my home, and I don't play that. Now, the one thing someone broke in my home, it was a child. They didn't, and the parent immediately wanted to pay for it, but I said, no, it's okay. And that item, it was of value to me because of wherever I got it from, whoever I got it from, whatever the case may be, but I completely understood. And because of the fact that it was something a child couldn't avoid, it was a handicapped child. It wasn't something that they could have avoided. But full-on adults, you go in someone's home and you break it, you don't necessarily need to pay for it, but at least replace it. It's just manners, you know what I'm saying? But when I tell you I am sitting here in such joy to go to this event, if I can get to this event, I will never have to go to another event ever if I can make it at this event right here. I tell you no lie. I really, 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 really want to go. I am so excited to go to this thing, and it's in October. It's in October, so I gotta wait. September. I don't know what day in October, but I am so excited because it's an indoor event, which means I won't be around the elements that will hurt my fibromyalgia and all that other stuff. As far as the crowds and stuff like that, I get to walk away. I get to walk away from the table for a few minutes. If I have to go to the bathroom and cry, I can go to the bathroom and cry. I can come back. I can do everything, but I need this event right here. This is what I have been praying for so long, an indoor event. And even though it's this like the third event, I would have paid $75. I really want to go. Now, I paid $75 for 3 different events, and I did not make my $75 back at any of the events. One of them I had to leave early because the music that they played, I just couldn't stay to listen to that music. It was horrible. I'm not even going to mention the genre of music, but that was just so not professional to have that type of music at an establishment in that facility at that location. It wasn't sorry. I know it's hard for people to understand sometimes what people go through when they really need to do something that they really want to do. But I really and truly, I try so hard, and I really just want what I want. I don't ask for much. But and I'm not even gonna let the fear of being in a crowded space make me not go. I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm gonna put my table in here. I'm gonna set my table up. I'm gonna do everything I have to do. I am just so excited for this event because if this event works for me, this will be the only event I will go to every single year for the duration of the time, even to the point where I will get off the internet doing everything other than my YouTube channel. I will get off the internet doing everything if I could prosper at this event in the neighborhood that I live in. It is so hard to be on the computer with access to the World Wide Web and absolutely not make a dent in society. So my only outlet now is the community that I live in. And what's so hard about me being here is the fact that even though I live in this building, most people don't even see me in this building. I usually don't go outside. When I go check my mailbox, it's usually after midnight, sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't tell last check the mailbox. But most people don't even see me in the building. And now when I leave out, most of the time I walk down the 12 flights of stairs. So I don't really take the elevator down anymore. But my friend told me today you have to stop taking the stairs. He said if you fall down those stairs, and he's telling the truth. But today I had to hold my back while I was walking down the stairs. But I'm not going to stop walking down the stairs because I cannot be in those elevators where there's no air conditioning and have heat in that air conditioner, like in that small space. When the door closes, it's like the air just stops, and I've gotten dizzy in the air, in the elevator. So I don't want to be in the elevator. I just take the stairs going down. But I'm excited. I feel like a kid that somebody took into the candy store or a doll store and just let loose just to pick up everything they want to go. I just want to go so bad. Just want to put on my shirt, have my face on my shirt, have my face all over my table. My car is parked outside. I just want to do the thing that makes me the happiest outside of this channel that I'm doing right now. But I want to say thank you so much to everyone who's watching this channel, because this channel right here is what my whole stilo is going to be after a while. But what makes me absolutely happy is the fact that I can just be myself. I don't have to. I have never edited a video. If you've seen me faint, if you see me fall, if you see me cry, if you see me, you will see it all. I have no idea how to edit, and I don't want to edit, because if someone sees me in a supermarket, someone sees me anywhere, I want them to know who they see, and I want you to know you're going to see me as you see me now. Yesterday, I felt a little discombobulated putting my video up where I had used some selective language when that car was behind me trying to squeeze me into. There was no way to move to the right, and he was on this side trying to push me over when this is a 2-lane street. No, baby, back off, because you're not going to get me to crumble this car when I don't have good insurance on this freaking car. You know, and he's in the mirror doing all this. So, but it is what it is, and no one commented on that, so everyone understood. So I was thankful for that as well. But I don't think I'm going to be cooking for a few days. I'm not able to stand at the stove. And one thing I know, Tina would tell me to take some time, don't cook, whatever the case may be. Today I was thankful for that beef stew. I heated up some beef stew. I took 2 bowls of beef stew, and I put 2 bowls together and put beef stew in the freezer. And I have another bowl I could possibly make on the counter, but I was asked to please save some beef stew, so I had saved 2 bowls, and I'm like, but I really and truly now have to figure out how I'm gonna cook. But cooking right now, standing up at the stove, it's hard to cook in the kitchen when I have my walker in the kitchen, because if I tilt over on that walker like I did before, I fell over on my walker, and my this half of me leaned over and landed on the top of the walker, and it hurt me so bad up here. So those are some of the things that I have to deal with, and it's hard to maneuver with the walker. I'm actually using the walker to walk around in the house today because my back pain has come back, but the back pain is arthritis in my back. I do have a few more pills that I can take, and I am going to take 2 pills, but I'm not going to take them until it's time for me to go to bed. But it's hard to maneuver that walker in that small kitchen that I have. But I'm going to say thank you for watching my video, especially if you watched it this long. Now, I'm going to leave it. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.